Hi everyone. Today we are here to speak about Flowset, about our new product, and especially about the Flowset Control. Thank you everybody who came today to listen to the updates of our product. Last time we met each other a year ago, a bit less, okay, with the official launch of our Open BPM product. But since then, we've made another naming. We renamed the product to Flowset. You can find details on our blog. But I do not want to disturb you with all these details too much because I think that you have not so much time. Yeah, and I want to give you a lot of information about what actually Flowset Control is and how it can help you in your daily operations. By the way, until we start, can you please write down in the YouTube chat whether can you hear me and see me well? It's very important for me to understand can we continue or not. You can just write pluses or hi or something like that, or it sounds good, just to help me recognize that everything is going as expected. Because sometimes things are happening and it's web things, they can be easily broken. Um, thank you. Thank you for your messages in the chat. Great. Yeah, I think that we can continue slightly. So we will go, and before starting, then I need to tell a bit about the rules. As usual, I'm speaking, showing how basically the Flowset Control works, how it can help you, and all the time you can write the messages in the YouTube chat. And what's best, we have the Flowset team here in the chat also, and they can answer your questions quickly. So all the questions which will not be covered until the end of our today's webinar, we will try to unveil at the end. And if for some reasons we will not know any answer on the question you ask us, you can contact us directly via the contact information. You can find it in the comments description to the video. So it will be left here, so you'll be able to watch it further later, share it with your friends, and contact us using any of our channels for sure. So let's start, and let's go for the first slide and a bit about myself. My name is Victor. I'm working at Holman Technologies Limited. This is a UK company, and I am personally responsible for the platform engineering department. So we make platforms, and my key responsibility, key position is I'm a product manager. So I'm working for Flowset also. Here you can see also my contacts in LinkedIn and email in case you will find it useful to contact me directly to discuss your questions or maybe some ideas or projects or other opportunities. Feel free to contact me directly. So I'm open for such kind of discussions. Maybe we'll find a way of a new interesting business opportunity. Okay. And let's start about the product itself. Let's stop talking about myself and more about the product. Now, for those who have never checked the Flowset website, have never visited one of our webinars, it was just one, but okay, for Flowset. Let's make a small startup. So why we are here, basically? What problem do we solve? I hope that you have that problem for sure. In case you do not have this problem, you can easily switch off from the webinar and discontinue listening. But most probably you are Camunda 7 users, and most probably you have problems with discontinuing of free maintenance of Camunda 7 in October last year. We call it easily, simply Camunda 7 end of life. And most probably you have that problem. And if it is so, then you estimate different options for supporting your existing solutions built with Camunda 7, or you use Camunda 7 engine in the core, or something like that, so on and so forth. And one of the options you can just estimate here, you can just think of, is that what if we just decide to stay with Camunda 7 technology? So we will just leave the Camunda 7 technology in the core and continue working with that. And if we will do that, a lot of other questions appear on the table. And first of all, which Camunda 7 alternative should you use? That's okay. We will try to unveil this question a bit. And the second question, and how will I continue support and development of those projects? So because Camunda 7 is not only the engine, but it also has a set of tools around it. And if those tools are missing, so how can you continue development of all these things? Okay. Yeah, and for that, we prepared an offering, basically. And not only we are, but also our technological partners called Aperaton. We provide a bundle which can help you to make drop-in replacement of the Camunda 7 facilities in your existing application, yeah, and use our set of tools instead of the old one provided by Camunda 7. For those who are new to those new words, I will try to describe those components in very short. You can find more details on the dedicated websites for Aperaton and for Flowset for sure. So Aperaton is the open source, first of all, great open source initiative from Europe for replacing the Camunda 7 and providing the long-term support of this technology. So those guys are really great in this, and they have expertise in BPM, and they're really great in software engineering. Most of them have years of experience, yeah, and now they are pushing this technology forward, and they insist on providing continuous support and development of this technology for at least 10 years, 7 to 10 years. Yeah. So, and we are in very close relationship with them, and I can see that even more. We try to assist them in their initiatives, providing the set of tools. What do we mean by the word a set of tools? By the set of tools, we mean things which are named in the Camunda area web apps. Maybe you've met this word. If not, we mean the set of web applications providing you with such functionality as administrative maintenance, monitoring of the BPM engines, interacting with the user forms and those things. So they had names in Camunda world. So it was Camunda Cockpit, Camunda Admin, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So we totally provided the replacement of those tools, and the whole set of these tools is named Flowset. Inside Flowset, we have Studio, we have Control, and we have a task list. Good news. All of these products are free of charge. So, and what's more, some of them are even open source, so you can easily utilize it in your product and deliver it to your customer, yeah, as a part of your product or a part of your project. What are these components doing? So, Studio is the IntelliJ IDEA plugin, which can be used inside the IDE, IntelliJ IDEA IDE. This is the best it's our opinion of our team, that it's one of the best products in the market for Java development, and we have special experience of making tools for this development environment, and we build a special tool for playing with BPMN models. We call it Flowset Studio. So it allows you to open the projects, see the BPMN modeler directly inside your IntelliJ IDEA, and go across this diagram and make some actions, generate some code. It's absolutely free, so you can find it in JetBrains Marketplace, download it, and use it in combination with other parts, but it's not mandatory. You can use it separately. The next thing is Control. Control is the main hero of our today's webinar. So I will switch now to this product because our today's webinar is fully concentrated on this product. And this is a replacement of the cockpit. Yeah, and we tried our best to find out how to make this product even better. So not just providing the same technology with the same user experience, and we wanted to bring you something that that fixes the pains that were collected for a long time, because we analyzed this area for 2 years and found out how to enhance the experience of those members of BPM development team who perform daily operations. Yeah, we know that people spend a lot of time on administrative support of the BPM engines, and we wanted to make a product which will decrease this time needed for daily operations. And today I will show you what's that. And the final part of Flowset is task list. Task list is absolutely free. You can recognize it as a task list hub. So it's a React-based application which can be connected to the engine, and it renders the process forms and allows users to interact somehow with the application. And it works based on the JSON schema. That's the typical, let's say, standard approach of Camunda for building process forms. Yeah, okay. That's all about the whole portfolio of our products. And once again, we are speaking today about the control. And this tool is open source. It's available on GitHub. I will share the link further, but a little bit further later on. Yeah, and what's good, this control can work with Operaton already out of the box. And there are much more features that I will try to uncover today. And let's switch to control. Hope this wasn't too boring and you are not sleeping already, or switch to another browser tab so I can still keep your concentration. And now I will switch to the product itself and show what can you basically do with that. So we have 8 points, 8 items today to talk about. These first 7 points are the functionality of the control I want to demonstrate today, and the last one is a bit about the roadmap and what we are going to do next. Okay, so and today we will speak about the, let's say, killer features of control. So those features that can really make you download this tool maybe even today and give it a try. Yeah. So the first one is the multiple BPM engine support. We know that teams suffered that every time they have a Camunda engine installation, they have a dedicated cockpit and they need to switch between the browser tabs, to switch between the administrative panels, and it is not so convenient as it could be. Okay, and the first thing we decided to implement is to make a multiple BPM engine support. So you work in the same environment and you switch between the engines. So it's easy, fast, and reliable solution. The next thing is that for sure we provided everything which was in cockpit plus extras, such as working with historical data, such as batching operations, and so on and so forth. I will show you a bit in a minute after. Okay, so today we will go through the functionality of working with incidents. We will look at how the batch operations are working, which are already implemented. We will discuss some premium features like moving process tokens. I will speak a bit what is it basically, and what issues can it serve, and I will show you how it works actually. Today we'll also see a bit about heat map and the functionality of working with messages. This is a special artifact in the BPMN diagram which you can use for asynchronous operations and make your process collaborate with each other. Okay, and finally the roadmap I told you already. Okay, then we switch to the presentation to the product itself. Okay, and now we'll show you how it looks like. Everything I will demonstrate today is deployed in our internal infrastructure, but I can easily find the demo stand on the website of Flowset. So I will show you also how where it is located and how you can enter it without making any installations and deployments. And we start. I want to pay your attention from the very beginning that we have the integration, out-of-the-box integration with Keycloak as the identity provider. And right now I will log in to the Flowset Control application via this Keycloak installation, which is deployed inside our internal infrastructure. Okay, I click and I was redirected to the Keycloak instance. You can see it in my URL of the browser. Okay, so I'm working today as an admin. We won't switch any other users, and I make the authorization, yeah, inside the Flowset Control instance. So this is the Flowset Control basically. So this is the main view, the dashboard, and once again, this is the control plane. So this is the place where you control all your installations of engines, yeah, BPM engines, and you can detect easily in the right upper corner of the screen that there is a small section with the as green icon showing that right now this control is connected to a Peraton engine. Yeah, just to remind you, Peraton is the open source alternative, which we also support out of the box. Yeah, so this is a dedicated product. You can find them on their own website. Okay, and here you can find out that you can even add additional engines to this dashboard to observe what's happening there. You can do it directly out of here, and here you can input the data about another engine you want to work with. Let's say it will be Camunda main. Yes, here you can see that there is a drop-down box. You can choose the engines which you want to connect to the Flowset Control. Now you can see only 2 engines here, but we want and we anticipate that we'll bring more Camunda 7 API compatible engines for operating with this special tool. And we want also to support all other open source alternatives, and especially Flowable. I think maybe you've heard about this technology. Okay, so this will be Camunda, and I will write down here the connection data of the Camunda engine, which is deployed already in my internal environment. So I will set this in a tag for this environment as prod, for example, and configure the authentication. Yeah, so there is a demo user there, so I can test connection. Yeah, and if it's done, okay, so I will switch this off, not to disturb us. You can see that we have 2 connections. Yeah, so we have connection to the Camunda engine and to a Peraton engine. And how we can check that we made a successful connection easily. So if we take a look at the dashboard, so there are not so many bars right here because I was not working with this tool. Yeah, I just opened it, and this is a demo mode. Yeah, and you can see that here are some tiles explaining what's inside. Yeah, so there's some highlights demonstrating what's inside. And the first thing is the information about the deployed process. You can easily click here and see that there are 2 processes here deployed. So the one is the review invoice. Okay, you can take a look at it. And another one is received. Invoice received. Yeah, so and both are active. Okay, let's switch to another engine. Let's go to a Peraton. So the Flowset Control automatically dropped the view and returned us back to the dashboard. And we can go inside and see that there is another set of processes. So it looks really nice. Yeah, so I have another set of processes, and I can also work with them. So I can communicate with the process information. I can overview their process diagrams. And what's good, I can see them and observe them in the way how I've got used to see those processes. Yeah, because here we have the BPM IO library embedded. Yeah, so it is quite the same as you use when you work with Camunda Modeler or other tools. And to speak up front, I can say that this library, especially, we're using in the studio itself also. Okay, well, so all engines can be configured via this panel, which is located in the system menu, submenu, BPM engine. So you can create new engines, and you can go even further. So you can configure the URL for the Grafana dashboard, which will accept the data from the engine, from the Flowset Control to take the data and observe. You can observe there in the Grafana application. This is a special tool which is basically well known for maintenance operations and monitoring for better observability of your infrastructure. And also you can enable the actuator metrics, which can be configured on the side of your engine, and generate the metrics you want to monitor. How it will work: if the actuator metrics are enabled on the side of your BPM engine, you will get the possibility to monitor it directly from the Flowset Control. So you will be able to monitor those metrics without any additional applications inside the Flowset Control. If the external dashboard is configured, so you can go directly here to the external dashboard by just clicking once, and that's done. So this is basically all about the feature of working with multiple engines. Once again, you can connect so many engines as you want. You can configure default engines, which will be opened by default in the Flowset Control and overviewed in the dashboard panel. But we continue with Peraton because Peraton is the beloved one. Yeah, and I want to speak only about Peraton. Sorry for that. Okay, and we go further. So we go next, and we dive in the processes. Yeah, and when we dive in the processes, we see that there are a set of processes deployed on the Piraton engine. We can once again take a quick look about what's going on inside, but we are nerds and we will go in details trying to understand what's basically happening there, okay? And we go into the business process details, so we can work with this diagram as usual, so you can zoom in, zoom out, yeah, and let's hide some panels that are not important right now. So here you can see that this is quite a typical observation of the BPMN model. Yeah, okay, what can I do here? Yeah, first of all, you can see numbers in the bottom of the tasks. What are those numbers? This is the number of active tasks, of activities, which are active instead of active inside all the process instances. So that means that there are two processes which have those activities active, and one process with this activity active. And you can also see that there are some purple number and red number. What does it mean? It means that there is one active process staying on this activity and one process with an incident. So you can easily detect what's going on. It's a heli view, yeah, on top of your business process. Okay, how we can check that? Basically, here is the panel which demonstrates which processes are running on this engine. Yeah, so we see the IDs of the process instances, and what's good, we can easily switch inside and check the actual status of those processes. So we can see the path which already happened. We can see the active user task right now. It's blue. Okay, yeah, and we can see all the details about the process. So what exactly we can see? We can see the list of process variables right here. So yeah, so everything is detailed and explained. You can double click and observe the detailed information about the process variable. Okay, just to keep you informed, you can create a process variable, define a new one, or remove the existing one. So you can check the user task. So we can see that the user task is active, double click, and we can, yeah, that's it. And we can see the information about the process task, which is on the current step. And please pay attention, you can even complete it. Yeah, so you can click complete and it's done without opening any other additional tools. If you are, for example, in debug mode, so you're experimenting with this business process, you maybe want to complete it as a part of your experiment. So we can also see the jobs started. Yeah, so we can see one active job with all the details about this job. So no error exception messages here. Yeah, external task and incidents. So we will look at it a bit further. Okay, so this is the overall data about the business process. If you change something, you can easily refresh the data about this process, and the request to the BPM engine will be made second time, third time, every time you push the button. You can get information about general attributes of this business process, and you can return back to observing the process model. Okay, in this process panel, in this process observation panel, you can find even more details. Just take a look that you can see the sub process here, the card issuance, and you see an error here. Yeah, so if you click this error, you can easily dive in to the sub process. Yeah, and here you can also see the instances of the sub process running. So here is the process instance running, and you can detect what's going on. You can see that the job is active, but it is out of the available retries, and we have and we have an incident here. Sorry. Here you can detect the full information about the incident, check the message, and check the stack trace. Yeah, so what's going on here? I will unveil this topic a little bit later. Now I will return to the business process from where we started back, and this was the functionality of diving inside the sub process from the general observation of the business process model. Okay, yeah. What can I do further? So then I can do the following. I can perform quick manipulations with the business process, with the status of the business processes. What exactly can I do? First of all, I can suspend them. So I can suspend all instances directly from here and can see that their status is was switched to suspended. Yeah, I can launch them back. And what else can I do? I can do migration. So if you have the updated model of this business process, you can automatically migrate to the new version. You need just to check the version here, click migrate, and it will be done automatically. So Flowset Control is in charge of doing all these jobs just by clicking. Here you can also detect in the left corner that there is a panel in which you can choose the active version of the business process you are working with. So if there will be the second version, you can easily switch between them and look what's going on, because we can easily have different process instances for this distinctive versions of the business process models. Okay, what can we do more here in this panel, because it's one of the most loaded with functionality. For sure, we can delete them. So yeah, this is a nice feature, especially when you develop business processes. Sometimes we have 10th versions of business processes, some demo process instances running. Well, just to kill them all. So it can be easily done with just clicking OK, and so they will be kicked out. Okay, yeah, and finally we have some some minor features here, but not less helpful. The first thing is that we can highlight the the documentation information, but for some reasons it's not represented here. So you can click between the documentation described on the activities in the business process model, and we can check the configuration of sorry for that, and we can check the configuration of the transactions. Yeah, so we know, maybe you know, if you are proficient in Camunda, that this is a very important topic to check on what steps do you make transaction commits. Yeah, and this tool helps you to find out where do you have transactions inside this business process to maybe adjust configurations. Yeah, this demonstrates how basically the BPM engine acts when it processes the data, processes the token through this business process model. It's just a small tip, yeah, to identify what's going there inside. Okay, well, this is everything about the process. The processes running. Once again, you can see them in this panel. But what's more, we can see all the details also in the dedicated panel, which is related to process instances. So here we can see all the process instances running. We have pages demonstrating their actual status. And here we can do different manipulations also. So if you want to find out information about a dedicated process, for example, for the vacation process, yeah, you can easily apply the filter, yeah, and see only the things related to this dedicated process. And if you want to make batch operations on top of these business processes, you can just suspend them also with quick buttons, and this will be done. Yeah. So just let's click refresh and see that they are suspended, and you can activate them. Okay, so this can be easily done with the set of configuration of filters and batch operations available here. So you can click other processes, whatever you like. So you can also go from this panel directly to the actual status of the process instances if you view all the data, or you can observe the processes which have been completed already. So this is the historical data about the completions of the business processes inside your process instance of the engine operator this time. Okay, so we can, sorry for that, I've opened the model, but I need to go to the process instance. So this is the process instance. Yeah, and we see the historical data about the path of the token, which was successfully committed inside this business process. So we can see the history of all the activities which were passed inside this process. We can see the status of the assignees. We can see the user tasks, the actual snapshot of the variable values, yeah, the incidents which happened here. And we can also see that it looks like that these business process instance, it was just suspended or terminated, yeah, because it is not finished at the end. And we can get easily information here, clicking information, we can see the flag here that it was terminated externally. Yeah? So we have full insights what's going on with the processes and how should they work, and what is their behavior in terms of the transaction. So it's everything is available here from one screen, and you can easily jump between the information here just clicking, yeah, or using the general habits of manipulation with the web application, just back and forth, observing what's going on. Okay, that's it. That's all about the general overview of the process instances functionality. And I want to highlight you one more thing, which can be quite useful. This is a thing that we can observe not only the sub-processes and what's going on with the process instance itself, but we can also explore investigate what's going on with decision-making tables. Here we can see that this is a business process in which we have a decision-making table here, which performs the credit scoring, and we see that it's green, so that means that it passed successfully, yeah, and it made some decision. And we want to know what was the decision. Yeah, you can easily do that by clicking, and here you can see the DMN table, and you can see the highlighted path of this decision-making table decision. Yeah, here you can see insights about what were the inputs. Yeah, so these were the inputs in this decision-making table. This was the selected path, and this was the solution. Okay, you can see it here, and we can also see the outputs. Yeah, so everything becomes observable. This is the main topic of the Flowset Control, that you can easily observe things happening on your business process engine, and you do not need to switch between different process engines. You get all insights directly here. And you can even do some manipulations. Yeah, I've showed you already that you can get details on variables and tasks, but you can also make quick actions on the tasks you want to reconfigure to make another behavior. For example, we have this active task here, wait for customer confirmation, which waits some time, and timer-based activity. Yeah, so we see a timer here. Okay, what we can do, I've showed you already that we can get details about this task, and what's more, we can reassign. So we can make the reassignment and set here another user. Yeah, so here we can see that the assignee was made, and we didn't need to open any other tool. We performed it directly from this view. Yes, from this tool. On the level of the business process instance, we can also terminate single instances by clicking this button. So keeping here the place for inputting the data about the reason for termination. Okay, yeah. So we've covered the detailed information about observing the process models. We also covered the topic of observing the business process instances. We saw that we have different filters here. They be configured by filters on top of every column. Yeah, and we have quick actions. Yeah, so we can terminate, suspend them, and do other stuff depending on the situation, exact situation with the business process instance. And we also have such panel for such observation panel for the user tasks. So we can see all the user tasks here, and we can easily filter them by any assignee. I just made the reassignment to Emily Brown, and I can see the active task assigned on Emily Brown. Yeah, and I can take a look at it and also mark it as complete if you want. So everything is just behind your heads. Okay. We've already touched a bit the topic of incidents. Yeah, so the incidents are the things which happen when the job executor meets the maximum count of retries. By default, Operaton as a Camunda-based technology have the configuration for 3 retries. Okay, and when he meets the maximum limit of these retries, it stops, it's halted. And the typical job to send not to reactivate retries, to make more attempts for those retries. In which cases can we meet retries? We can meet retries when we have some external task calling. And it's not available. We have an external service calling, yeah. And for some reasons, it was broken, yeah, and it's unreachable right now. We need to have some time, and maximum retries were reached, and we need to make retries. Okay, but for demonstration purposes today, we made such silly business process with one script task, and if we open the XML description of this, oh, sorry for that, I just clicked back. Okay, we can see that inside this XML model, inside the business model, we have a Groovy script just throwing the error. Yeah, so it always throws the error. Yeah. Okay, and here you can see even in this view that we have 4 process instances. All of them are with incidents, so they are marked red, and you can do retries using this tool. How you can do retries? First of all, you can just click retry here and set the number of retries, okay? And the information for the job executor will be updated, and you can see that there are 3 retries active right now. So engine will try to process this task, but you can do it as a batch operation. Yeah, so you can check some type of the business process. For example, invoice process. Yeah, invoice process I want to take. Click them all and set retry, and say that I want to set 3 retries for them all. Okay, yeah, and here you can also see details of the failed job. It seems that the process I retry, I've set the retry at first. It already finished because it ran down all of its retries. Sometimes that happens. Sorry for that. Okay. So basically, you can monitor what's going on with your processes, not only meaning the successful path, but also things happening on the side of the business processes. And here, all the process instances with retries are marked as red. So you can easily jump in them, yeah, and fix with different types of scenarios and watch how many retries left. And make them higher if they're out of it ran out of retries. Okay, so we covered the topic of incidents, we covered the topic of batch operations, and let's go to some sweet things which are left as a premium functionality. By the way, if it looks fine for you and you like things I'm demonstrating, feel free to send me hearts or pluses in your chat, because sometimes I think that I'm speaking to myself just to make me feel that there is somebody on the other side of the screen. That will be great. Yeah, this motivates me a lot. Thank you for that. Thank you for your emotions. That makes me feel better. And we continue. Okay. Let's go to the feature of token modification. So what's basically it makes? You may know that in real situations, not in ideal life, it happens that way that we have a finely tuned business process and it runs smoothly. But sometimes it happened that way that we ran to a point, for example, wait for customer confirmation in this case, and the manager came to us and said that something went wrong. So it was a stressful moonlight, or it was a fog, or he had a headache, and he made a mistake, and he wants to send the token back. Yeah, so he wants to revert the process back to some point. So, and this can be definitely a headache for the person who manages this business process instance. Yeah, so how this can be done, and this can be done with this business process instance modification. Let's imagine that, let's go to the process instance, check the process, okay, this one process instance. Yeah, it is set to the wait for customer confirmation, and we have some data here about the monthly income which was generated by the script here. Okay, and we have this manager saying that, look, it happened that way, that I was so stupid, the monthly income is wrong, and I need to reverse this process back and make another decision about credit scoring. And if you look at the credit scoring, it's quite simple. So there are some figures about the monthly income, about the age, and it sets the credit limit. And due to the fact that the input data was wrong, it set the bad credit limit. So now it's set to 2,000, and the manager asks for 5,000 because the input data was wrong. How it can be fixed? First of all, so without asking the manager to do something, we can click on the data about the process variable and input here that the actual data now is 3.5. Okay, so that's done. Now Let's go and find out how we can revert back this process. Yeah, let's go to the modification. Okay, set down that we want to do this with the main process credit card. Set the version. Then we need to choose the activity from what we want to grab the token. So we say that we want to grab the token from this activity. Done. So then he asks, to what activity do you want to put the token? I say that I want to put the token to the credit scoring. Done. And it also asks me, where do I want to set the token, before or after? I say before, because I want to pass this decision-making table one more time. Okay, click next. Then it says that, well, there are two business processes found. But I don't know which business process actually I need to modify. But I remember that I inputted the data about the monthly income, and I go and put the information that the monthly income was 3,500. Okay, yeah, and this is a filter now, and it automatically filters all of them. Okay, maybe I forgot the exact number. Okay, I will just remove this. Okay, because it should filter. Okay, I was so engaged that I forgot. Okay, none of them. Okay, I will just double check what did I do with this business process. Let's go. 3,500. Okay, I will do something enormous, so I will put it as 4,000. Okay. Yeah, let's go to the modification and try to do it second time. Once again, select the business process, select the task. Okay, sorry that I need to show it several times, but I hope that this time everything will go fine. So let's go to the process variable. Let's input the monthly income, say 4,000. Okay, click OK, filter. So we see this exact process, which was filtered due to this parameter I just configured. And I should pay your attention that you can configure it easily by other attributes like business key, like the incident message, and like some configuration of those process variables. And I just click next. And here I can input some commands. So it's the manager problem. Yeah, okay. And I can see the request which will be generated and sent to my business process engine. Here I can also see the process instance, like here. So it's the information about the process instance. And click modify. Okay, and it's done. So this process instance has been switched to another reverted back and passed one more time. And now I can see that the new monthly income was set and the updated credit limit was done. Let's go to the information here. Okay, coming back. I should better copy the information about the process instance data. Yeah, that's it. So the credit limit is 5,000. Okay, so it was successfully implemented, and this is a cute tool that you can use in your daily operations to reduce the amount of headaches when moving the token back and forth. Yeah, without sending writing some extra tools for sending those requests to the side of the BPM engine. What do we have more on here within the Flowset Control? We have the following. So we have the opportunity to work with messages. If we go to the process instances, we have a special type of the process model called just a message process. And inside this message process, we have a stub with a user task, which works, which has a boundary event, the message. Yeah, here's the test event. Yeah, and sometimes it is useful to send the message to manually to some process to make some business logic run. Yeah, okay. And with Flowset Control, you can see this opportunity on the user tasks. So you are able to send the message to the dedicated activity. And this will trigger the boundary event connected with this business process without some extra effort. So it's just awesome. Yeah, so you do not need to find another tool for this job, so you can easily jump in and do it just by clicking. Okay, so this is a special feature for messaging, so that means that you can easily manipulate with your business processes done with messaging. Okay, yeah, and I think the last big feature is for sure the heat map. This was one of the most favorable features in Camunda. It helps to get some helicopter view on process inside. So what's going on there inside? It analyzes the active tokens in the business processes and helps us to understand the bottlenecks, which are marked as, let's say, more red or orange, and paths which are moving smooth, they are actually green. Yeah, so that means that everything is fine here. And just for your attention, you can see that we can group the data by duration in minutes and see the most overloaded business process activity object here. This is the wait for confirmation, customer confirmation with 17 days here, all by count, and some other stuff for quick analytics. Just for understanding, this is not a deep dive analytical tool, but it's an easy, light analytics to get the first insight about what can go wrong. Yeah, so what goes wrong with your process and how it can be improved. In future, we are going to make some connections with the process mining tools. We are looking for partners in the area, and if somebody is listening to us and he's or her is a vendor of a process mining tool, please feel free to contact us. We will make connection with your tool and help the users worldwide to see the insights. Okay, and finally, I wanted to demonstrate that we also can overview the information about the deployments here. It is located in the system submenu. So here we can see all the history about the deployments that were done on the side of Flowset Control, and we can see the deployment time, and we can see also details inside. So now it's a wrong example. Let's go to the invoice processing. Okay, here we see the artifacts that were deployed. This is the decision-making table. This is the invoice BPMN version 2 diagram, which was deployed. Yeah, and we can see all the data. And what's great, we can see also the running instances, yeah, of this business process. So let's get something which is definitely running right now. And I can see that there are one running instance because one was killed by myself. Yeah, and yeah, this helps also to get quickly insights about what's going on. Okay, so definitely that was everything I wanted to show you about the Flowset Control, that great tool that can easily save your time, I think even hours in your daily operations. Yeah, which helps you to manipulate with several BPM engines without the demand to switch between different tabs. So everything is here on the same page, and you can quickly jump in all the sections to get the insights about process instances. Yeah, okay, about the user tasks, make reassignments, batch operations, and so on and so forth. Okay, finally, you can get the information about how to contact us if you want, and to find insights about all other products which are in the Flowset family. Okay, you can get the information about how to connect us via the Slack messenger, or once again directly from our website. All information is located on the website here, and what's more, you can test this control also by yourself, clicking here on the platform control. You can click install or go to the demo stand and observe and click how basically this tool is working, and get your personal experience to make a decision, install this great tool on your workstation, on your Docker or your VPS, and start using it, because nothing can be better than Flowset Control. Yeah, so that's all about the product demo, and let's wrap up a bit and talk about future plans of this great product. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to one thing which I forgot is that Flowset Control is the open source product, and you can find it in our GitHub repository. Here you can find the dedicated Flowset Control repository. It has 58 stars, and please, if you are watching this webinar, feel free to add us additional stars, especially if you like this product. So it will help us to promote this technology worldwide. Together with a Proton, we are going to build a really great community around Camunda technology with its new facelifted version. Okay, so please give us stars. Okay, so that's all about asking from my side, and let's speak more about what's going on and what will happen next. Okay, first of all, some insights about future features. Shortest, we will introduce the advanced job management, not the advanced, it's the default, let's say, functionality of job management. You could detect that we do not have this menu item to monitor what's going on inside the job executor, and we've got requests from the community that this can be a helpful thing to observe what's going on the side of the business process engine from this aspect. Yeah, so from this point of view, what's going on with jobs, and make some manipulations with these jobs. And we want to provide some advanced bulk operations. So with conditional filtering, some more complex scenarios. So this will be introduced in March. I think that we will get an additional webinar highlighting what's going on, or we'll write down or we'll just record a video. I don't know yet, because we have a lot of things to do, and I want to demonstrate other products, especially Studio, in the next webinar. Okay, in May, we want to introduce, sure, we are living in 2026, and everybody speaks about AI, and we could not leave ourselves without AI speaking. Okay, and we have a cute idea to bring AI agent inside this support routine, because we have all the data, and basically we can set up rules for this AI agent and just make him do all the routines by himself and go to the bar and drink beer. Okay, so that's the dream. So we want to experiment with this great functionality in May, and I hope that this will be a funny and awesome functionality we'll bring within the Flowset Control. Just delegate all your job to AI agent and go drinking beer. So hope this will happen. Please follow us on our YouTube channel, and you will get the information at first about the AI agentic things. Okay. Then we want to bring advanced process migration. This looks like a mandatory feature for enterprise scenarios. Yeah, we want to support very specific SDLT cycles of deployment, the updates of the BPM diagrams. I cannot talk about details around this feature, but I think that we will cover most corner cases around this job. Okay, and finally, I think I want this is my favorite. Okay, this is a process debugging. I want to bring some functionality which will help you to understand the whole metadata about the business process, and to get insights what is happening, why it is happening that way. Okay, because we know that sometimes it can be really tricky to debug the processes on the stands to which we cannot connect, on the environments to which we cannot just connect with the ID and understand what's going on there. So we have a production stand and we don't understand why does this business process is doing the job like that. Okay, and we need to get these insights, and the task of this feature is to bring those insights to you and get you more tools to evaluate how you can improve the situation, okay, how you can fix the situation. So we call it process debugging. Please do not foresee too much in May, because this is a very hard feature. We'll try to deliver it in the light version, just to observe in details what's going on. But I hope in autumn we will make it a more advanced with some extra opportunities, like just maybe stepping. I just imagine. Okay. And in August, the plans are to bring the incident notification. We have requests about advanced filtering. It's nice to have. I suppose that we'll bring it into space. When working with the enterprise scenarios, we know that it's very important to track everything's happening, and we want to bring advanced audit for the control. And some cherry pick is the full text search everywhere. So just input what you remember, the name of the process variable, the name of the business key, and find everything related to this data in your BPM engine instance. So that's the plan. Okay. Some few words about the distribution of the Flowset control. Basically, it is available in two versions. So the first version is the open source. I've just highlighted that it is placed on the GitHub. It is absolutely free. It is distributed under Apache 2.0 license. And it is focused on community work. It can be very useful for those teams who are building products with the Camunda or Camunda replacement Aperaton. And in this case, you can use this tool for free to supply your solution with some administrative tooling for your customer. Yeah? So you do not need to think about what will happen with the license, so far, so forth. Yeah, and you can feel free for distribution of your products with this functionality. So it's the first version, okay, open source. And another type of the package is the enterprise version. It has the commercial license. It is absolutely free for up to 3 BPM engines. And we suppose that this can be useful for the teams which are looking for some specific scenarios for high loads. What do we mean under high loads? Under high loads, we mean that you have more than several tenths of engines running, you have thousands, 10,000s of processes running, and you have very difficult situations when you need to fix something, okay? And here we can bring a lot of insights with the Flowset Enterprise, which will definitely make you less time spending on that and keep your time saved. Yeah, this is what we are looking for. We are going to make your life easier, basically. Yeah, and this is the part of the enterprise offering. By the way, you can find the link to the enterprise version, early access enterprise version in the comments to this video. It is highlighted there. And if I'm not mistaken, I can also access it using the website. Downloads. Okay, let's go there. No, maybe download. Am I lucky here? Sorry for that. I'm going to the wrong URL. So I broke everything. Sorry for that. Flowset.io downloads. Yeah, it's done. Sorry for keeping several seconds for that. Here you can find all downloads directly from the website. And here is the Flowset Control Enterprise, which is available in the Appia version. This is a portable version of the Flowset Control, which I've demonstrated basically today. You can download it and use it in your environment and check the functionality. It's really great. It's absolutely free. So feel free to follow the instructions and utilize this great feature. Well, that's all for today. Hope that was great. Hope that I brought you some good ideas about how you can enhance your daily operations with BPM. With BPM management, okay, with BPM operation management. And for sure, please go to our website, to the website of our partners, to Aperaton, and check those great products. There is nothing to do than just to get hands-on experience with these great products, with great documentation, and free up your time. Yes, free up your time and stop thinking about other alternatives of the Camunda 7 replacement. So feel free to contact us via all our channels. Some of our contacts are in the comments to this great video. And if you liked it, basically click the thumb up because this will help us to promote this great technology across the community. So this was great 30 minutes of communicating with you with this great product, with this great community. We know that the Camunda community is top professional and it is full of great engineers. And we build products for engineers. So we are engineers. We are building products for engineers together with Aperaton. I think you will love it. That's all from my side. And yeah, let's check with the questions. And I see one question from the Mark Rodriguez. Okay, how to work with external task? Is there a client for Java, JavaScript like the Camunda client for the external task button? Yeah, this feature is already this feature is already available on the Operaton side. So they have a Java client basically, and they have also the Java client for supporting the external task pattern. So this is not the part of Flowset, it's more about the part of Operaton. We are, as the set of tools on top of Operaton, are going to support this functionality with our studio. With our Flowset Studio, which is basically the plugin for IntelliJ IDEA. Wait for updates. We will support this external task pattern in the March Flowset Studio release. And I think we will set a dedicated webinar about this great tool. It's absolutely free forever. So please go to the JetBrains Marketplace, find this great tool, download it via the plugins, and feel free to leave us comments and feedback with this great tool. Yeah, hope I could answer your question, Mark. And first of all, thank you very much. Yeah, that's you came. Yeah, that's and you asked the question. That's also great. That's also great. Yeah, we ran out of time. That was great to spend time with you. If you like the video, feel free to press the like. Share this link with your friends who are familiar with the Camunda technology. And see you next time. I think in a month, we will make a new webinar and we will speak about Studio, most probably. This is a cute thing that will also help your daily operations with the BPM development. Thank you very much and see you next time. Bye-bye.